In Isagenix, we're all about transformation and really helping people achieve, wellness. And that means something different for each person. And I think that's what's so important is tonight as you listen, you might be listening to hear about physical wellness. You might be wanting to lose weight or building muscle or have more energy. You might be listening in for financial wellness to have an opportunity where you and your family can, create a residual stream of income. And you might be listening in for what I call is time freedom, time wellness, where you want to take back ownership of your time. And the beautiful thing about Isagenix is we have a solution for all of those. So who are we? Isagenix is a global leader in evidence-based nutrition, which we'll show you tonight, through premium protein, whole body cleansing. And our mission is to impact millions of lives globally and in the process create the largest and healthiest community on earth. And I've been blessed to be a part of this company for 19 years. Our company is 23 years young. And these are all the reasons why people come to Isagenix. Nutritional health, physical health, those kind of tie together, right? You might be seeking wellness tonight, physical wellness. Or we have a lot of people that come to Isagenix seeking mental wellness. And that means that when you put the right nutrition in your body, it really does have a correlation to your mental health. And we'll talk about that. Holistic health, our company does its best. And you'll see that so much testing and just goes above and beyond to give you the highest quality holistic wellness. And then social health, you guys, our community of Isagenix is a like-minded group of people who are positive, who want to make an impact in the world, and you're going to see that. And then last but definitely not least is financial health. So when I share my story, you'll hear a little bit about that, but I came to Isagenix looking for an opportunity to be able to be home, to be able to, be the mom that took my kids to school and picked them up, but yet still use my business degrees. And this has allowed me to do that. And so I love Isagenix. We're making such an impact around the world, not just here in the United States. We're in 24 different countries, and we've helped to create 425 plus legacy members. That means people that have earned cumulatively over $1 million in earnings with the company. So our products are not on trial. We know that they work because of the science, and our business opportunity is not on trial either. And we have the proof of that. So I just want you to see this here because you're like, who's this gal talking to me? So like I said, my name's Hilary. This is my husband, Justin, on the left, and our 4 children. So my story is this. Before Isagenix, I went to college, got my degree in business, worked on my master's degree. That's where I met my husband in college. And I had a great internship with a company in Kansas City, made a great income as an intern. They hired me on full time. It was like everybody what they thought their dream job. The problem was I would go to work every day and I would come home totally unfulfilled. And I would tell Justin, like, God has to have something different for me than this. Like, this can't be what I'm going to do for the next 40 years. And every night, you guys, I would go to bed and he would go to sleep and I would pray and I'd be like, Lord, if you just give me the right vehicle, like I will work hard. I have grit and tenacity and I will give you the glory. And you guys, our business has been incredible. And it's kind of like you heard Rhonda in the intro, but I mean, same thing for me. I was praying for an answer. A lady that I had heard, or excuse me, that had heard me speak at a leadership training, she emailed me and she just said, hey, I want you to look at this opportunity. And I was willing to think outside the box. And I want to challenge you to do that tonight. I want you to think outside of whatever your box is, because my background, my dad's a farmer, my mom's an educator. It was like you go to college, you get a job, you stay in that job for 40 years, you retire. It's what it is. But I long for something different. I long to have a family at some point and be able to, like I said, be the mom who was at all the things. And so when we started Isagenix, we had no children. Now we have 4. They're 18, 16, 12, and 11. And this is us this summer at our house in the Ozarks. On the right, you guys, is our youth group in our community serving meals at a homeless shelter. I show that because whatever is important to you, Isagenix is the vehicle that can get you to where you want to go, to your dreams. So Isagenix doesn't have to be like your dream, but the means of Isagenix can get you to what that is. And for me, it's pouring back into our youth. It's showing them what's really important. So that I teach every week, every Wednesday night. And then on the bottom right is my friend Amber. She's an incredible woman who moved to Haiti and has an orphanage there where she has brought in this group of boys and she's raising them. And it's just incredible. And we're able to go there and work with her and then help her, through financially contributing to that. So it's whatever you're passionate about. I want to leave an impact when I'm no longer here. And Isagenix allows me to do that. And so I just want to ask you, are you living your best life? So tomorrow's Thursday. if you were to get up tomorrow, can you do what you want with who you want as much as you want? Are you physically fit enough to do what you want? Do you have the time to do what you want? And do you have the finances? And if not, Isagenix is the solution for that. And so here's all the different avenues that we have as far as wellness is concerned. So no matter what your health concern is, I'll start by saying we don't claim to heal, cure, treat, prevent any illness or disease, but we do make an impact in all of these areas. And when you fuel your body with dense, quality nutrition, the body is created to heal itself. And so that's what we see happen. And you guys, we could show you this through study after study. Our company works with medical universities. The reason why we do that is we want to be able to show you clinically through scientific data the results that we have. So our company, over the past 23 years, we have 24 peer-reviewed human clinical studies. And that is a huge deal. When somebody talks to me about nutrition, I always say to them, does your company have human clinical studies that have been done, peer reviewed? And the answer is typically no, because it costs a lot of money. But Isagenix does this, you guys, because we want to be able to show you the proof that it works. And I'm going to show you that tonight. So with our company, we're no compromise. And I get asked all the time, what do you mean by that? This is what I mean. Before Isagenix, I had no babies. Now I have 4 kids. Through my pregnancies, I used Isagenix. So I wanted to know that it was clean and pure and what I was putting in was good for me, right? And that's what no compromise means. It means we don't cut corners. We don't have ephedra or stimulants or colors or additives in any of our products. We source our whey from New Zealand because it's grass-fed whey with no steroids and antibiotics. Just all the things. We don't cut corners here, and that can be seen in the results that people get. So our most studied and clinically proven system is our 30-day reset, which you see here. We're going to go through and we're going to talk about each of these elements and what they do for you and how they work synergistically. And that's one key thing. The reset and all the studies done have been done by showing this as a system. So, think about where you are in your home tonight. I'm here in Nebraska. If we both took out a box of brownies and we both followed the exact instruction, we are about guaranteed to get the same result. So that's why I always tell people this is a system of wellness. We can tell you all these numbers you're going to see in just a minute that have been clinically shown to be true as long as you follow the system. So the system of wellness is really great and it's simple to do. That's something I love is the simplicity of it. So it's a combination of getting the right dense protein, cellular detoxifications. Like today I'm actually doing our cleanse, our nutritional fast today, and then cellular health, detoxifying at the cellular level. So you can just see here on the right some of our studies, Skidmore College, and they put us up against what's called the heart healthy diet. So I want you to understand that if you went to your doctor and said, hey, I want to lose weight, lower my cholesterol, feel better, have more energy, whatever it is, your health. So whatever it is, you'd say that to your doctor. They would say, I'm going to put you on the heart healthy diet. So this is Isagenix versus that. And they found that with Isagenix, people lost 20% more fat loss with Isagenix, and they were able to build and maintain 9% more lean muscle. And not only that, but the cardiovascular markers significantly improved. And for me, that's really important as a woman. I don't think a lot of people know, but if you add up all the cancers for females, it doesn't total the amount of women that die every year in the United States from heart disease. So a lot of people think of men with heart disease, but women, we want to think about that too. And it just shows you study after study that not only do people have these results, but they maintain these results for a long period of time. So our 30-day system consists of 3 core items. The first one is our shakes. And you guys, our shakes are not like other shakes on the market. And here's why. Our shakes are an undenatured whey. That means they've never been heated above 120 degrees. So they still have a living enzyme. So when you're drinking these shakes, it's delivering your nutrition to where your body needs it. It has 24 vitamins and minerals, all sourced from whole organic foods. So you're getting real vitamins, real minerals, real fruits, real vegetables, not a synthetic. And you guys, it's right around $4 per shake. So I don't know where you're feeding your family, but I can tell you for less than $4, you're not getting this type of meal. And this is what I make my kids every morning for breakfast. All of them get a shake. And then, if they want eggs or bacon or cereal or whatever else, they can have that. But it comes with a shake because I want their bodies to be started off beginning of the day with this type of nutrition. And then our second element of our 30-day reset is our cleanse for life. And you guys, our cleanse is amazing. Like I said, I'm on a cleanse day today. So I always say it's a nutritionally supported fast. So I haven't had food. I think my phone said for 22 hours at this point. And this is my third presentation tonight. So here's the thing. You can feel great while you're detoxing. It's flooding your body with all the botanicals you can see there. And the results are incredible. Over on the right, you'll see but a 33% loss in visceral fat, which is that abdominal fat that causes so many issues. Decrease in oxidative stress. That is like the cortisol, all the stress on your body from all the things in your air, your food, your water. Even if you're eating clean, you guys, you live in the toxic world that we live in. And it's just the way it is. And so, you guys, these results that we get with the cleanse, because it's aloe based, you can do 1 or 2 days a week. It's just really great. And it's how you feel. When I started Isagenix, I wasn't on any medications. I wasn't sick, but the thing is by the fourth or fifth day, it felt like a light switch had been turned on. I like had so much energy and I just felt amazing. And that's still how I feel. 19 years later, I'll be 47 and I feel incredible. So, and this is our third element of our 30-day reset. It is my number one, I should say, product that I use, and it's in the top 5 selling individual products of the company. It's called Ionic Supreme. It is full of adaptogens, and adaptogens do just what they say. They help your body adapt to stress. So, who has stress? I could ask you to put a 1 in the chat, right? If you have stress, or if you're listening, do you have stress? Everybody does. But you guys, what this does, adaptogens are plants that grow in really harsh environments, whether it's the tundra or it's really like the desert, and they've learned to adapt. They've learned to, you know, thrive, not just live, but thrive. And so that's what's in anything that you see that says adaptogens. So when you consume those in your body, what it does, it goes into the body and it helps you, whether it's mental stress, physical stress, psychological stress, all those things, your body has a fighting chance. So I love Ionics. I do a couple ounces a day and it's incredible. It also, I should say, lowers inflammation in your gut. And when we lower inflammation in the gut, everything else can thrive. So we talked about mental health at the beginning, and we are not making a medical claim. We're not claiming to heal, cure, treat, prevent. But when you can lower inflammation in the gut, you can help and relieve your body's mental load. And so there's a great book called The Gut Brain Connection that you can go out and get. And it simply shows in that book, like if you can get your gut health in check, you can get your mental health in check. And so this study that was done, the latest one was done in May of 2024 by Nature Communications, and it showed a complete remodeling of the microbiome of the gut. So that's all your bacteria, all your gut microbiome, completely remodeled from doing our 30-day reset month after month. And so I would just encourage anyone who's struggled with health issues, with struggle with any type of autoimmune to give the 30-day reset a shot, because I believe you'll have amazing results. And that's what we've seen, and that's what the studies have shown as well. And so for those that are using a GLP-1, a weight loss medication, if you're doing that, it's everybody's own choice, right? What they're doing. What I want you to see though is Isagenix versus that. So in the very left column, that's the GLP-1, and that's exercising an average of 150 minutes a week. And then the third column over is Isagenix, our 30-day reset with no physical activity. Now, we encourage physical activity for sure. It's just in this example, we want to show you the study. So you can see the BMI of the people are the same, 38. The weight in 68 weeks, the person on the GLP-1 lost 30 pounds. The person using Isagenix lost 25 pounds in only 12 weeks. The body mass you can see, and then look at the lean body mass. The person using the GLP-1 lost 12 pounds of muscle, where the person using Isagenix, out of their weight loss, only 4 pounds was muscle. And they lost twice as much visceral fat as the person on the GLP-1. So what I'm always saying to people, I work with a lot of doctors' offices at this point, is if you're doing a GLP-1, I would really encourage you to add our protein shakes, add our nutrition to what you're doing. And if you're not doing one, Isagenix has you guys 9% better results than a GLP-1. So just do the reset and fuel your body with dense nutrition, do the intermittent fasting, you're going to get great results. And these are just a few of the clinical studies I want you to see that prove that. This one was done at Skidmore University. It showed using Isagenix for 12 weeks. The average weight loss was 25.2 pounds. The fat loss was 22 pounds. You guys, that means almost everything they lost in weight was fat, right? Only 3 pounds wasn't. And they were able to build and maintain 9% more lean body mass using the reset. So you guys, these are phenomenal numbers that are proof that it works. The sugar and carb intake, they were able to cut that way over 50% by utilizing the Isagenix nutrition. Your metabolic health, which these are the things that so many people anymore are paying attention to, these markers. Visceral fat decreased by 33%. glucose by 9%, and the insulin by 41%, you guys. So if you know people who fall into that third category, dealing with insulin, you want to be talking to them about our nutrition and the reset, because the results, here's the proof. And just some more. A decrease of 9% in blood pressure, arterial stiffness of the heart, decreased by 9%, and vessel elasticity improved by 14%. And that's what we want. We want all the vessels in our heart right pliable so that the blood can pump easier. And you can see these are just in 12 weeks, 3 months of utilizing the 30-day reset. And then last but definitely not least, you can see here the cellular health. Everything goes down to the cells, right? If we can get our cells healthy, every second that you're hearing my voice, your cells are replicating, either healthy cells or damaged cells. So if we can detoxify the body, your body is going to produce healthy cells. And you can see here, after the 12 weeks, there was 33% more toxins released into the blood, which is what we want. We want it released into the blood so it can be removed from the body through the urine. And then we see here 25% less cell damage and inflammation, and your immune system and your capacity to be able to fight off things increased by 5%. So the 30-day reset, you guys, is not on trial. Like I said, the results are amazing. And that, like I said, is one of our core systems. So what I'm going to do now is just show you a few additional parts of our nutrition that I love, that I take every day, that a lot of our people do as well, so that you can take notes on the things that you love. But this is our Recharge NAD. It works at the cell level as well. It helps to detoxify. But what it really does, it works at the mitochondria of the cell. So that's the energy house, right? It gives you more energy. It helps with respiration, digestion, movement. I actually just got my aunt on this product, and she's 89 years old. And so that sounds crazy, but my mom is the youngest of 13, and her family lives long lives. And so she started on this and our Ionics and a few other products just this week. So I'm excited for her. But it detoxifies. It does so many great things. If you've heard of IV therapy clinics where people are going in and getting nutrition through an IV, 2 of these is equivalent to half a bag of IV therapy. So, it's just a great, easy way to get that same nutrition. And then our vitamin packs, I love. Justin and I take these daily. There's a men's pack and a women's. The men's has higher levels of zinc because they've shown that helps prevent prostate cancer. The women's has higher levels of calcium because it helps with bone density. And then you're going to get your omega. You're going to get coenzyme Q10. So you've heard it called CoQ10, resveratrol, which is a grapeseed extract. Just all these things great for cardiovascular health and just overall wellness. And they're really great because they tear off. So you can have like an AM and a PM pack and just take it with you on the go. Okay. And then I love our greens. I show our greens because I'm married to a man who eats meat and potatoes only. And so greens are super important. The American Heart Association, the American Cancer Association both said that if you can get at least 7 servings of leafy greens a day, that you can reduce your risk of those illnesses by major numbers. One of those is over 50%. And so it's key to get your greens. So what Justin does is he drinks a chocolate shake every morning with 2 scoops of his greens. 1 scoop gives you 2 servings of greens. So by putting in 2 scoops, he gets 4 servings of greens every single day, which helps with so many different things. So it's really important, you guys, that you're getting your greens, that your kids are getting their greens. I put this in a lot of foods like spaghetti sauce, just a lot of things that my kids don't even know it's there. And that way they're getting their greens every day as well. And then one of my favorite products, especially on a day like today where I'm doing the fast and doing the cleansing, is our hydration product. So with our hydrate, there's over 1,600 milligrams of electrolytes, 400 milligrams of sodium through pink Himalayan sea salt. They're just incredible. We have 4 different flavors. The watermelon flavor has hyaluronic acid in it as well. So it's great with hair, skin, nails. Our peach lemonade flavor has an immune booster in it. You guys, but they're great. If your kids are drinking Gatorade, Powerade, Prime, all these things, Isagenix was put head to head with those. Element, Liquid IV, and we outpaced everybody. And you can see that here. So, it's easy to talk to people about this: 0 calories, 0 sugar. It's just a great piece of our nutrition that you can have multiple, servings every day, which is definitely what I do. Especially on a cleansing day or when it's hot outside, like today, it was almost 100 here, and I exercised outside. So just replenishing your body with your electrolytes. Electrolytes are what allow your nutrients to transfer through the cell wall. So it's super important that you get electrolytes daily. I really encourage you, if you're a coffee drinker, to get up in the morning, mix a stick of electrolytes with your water before you have a coffee, your body will thank you. So a few other things that were just added in the last couple months that I have fallen in love with. One is our clear protein. Like, I'm addicted to this. I am using it every single day. 2 scoops of our clear protein gives you over 20 grams of protein. It gives you 5 electrolytes. It's amazing. You just mix it right in your water. I've actually been mixing mine with my hydrate and a little bit of creatine, which I'll talk about next. Putting those three things together and having a great drink in the afternoon helps me to feel satiated, but yet it's a liquid drink versus like a milkier shake. So those people that that don't want to drink a shake, this is a great alternative, and it's an easy way to get more protein. My goal a day is to get 150 grams of protein, and that can be challenging. So I'm so grateful for our shakes and our clear protein to help me achieve that. And then I mentioned our creatine. You guys, this is such a hot topic right now. Creatine, people have an opinion on. Everybody's got an opinion, but here's what I'll tell you. Over 200 clinical studies have been done on creatine. You need to be taking creatine, especially if you're a woman, you're hearing my voice. We've been told for a long time, women shouldn't take creatine. It's just not true. It helps with bone density. It helps with, lean muscle mass, maintaining and building lean muscle mass. The thing is, when you take the creatine, I talked to a gal just yesterday and she's like, yeah, but it says online that I'm going to hold water weight. And I actually talked to one of our doctors about this because I wanted to give her the right answer. And he said, as you start taking creatine, if you've never taken it before, it'll draw water to your muscles. So what you want to do is you want to be consistent and take it every single day. And you'll see that as you're consistent with it, that diminishes. But when your body's not used to taking creatine, that's when that happens. So anyway, you're going to take the creatine every day. It's a monohydrate, which means it's just creatine. It's a micronized unit, you guys, so it will mix in water. It'll mix in anything you want. And so it's just really great. The other thing that creatine in all these studies has been shown is that it helps with memory, helps with cognitive function, early prevention or prevention of early onset Alzheimer's and dementia. I'm not saying Isagenix makes those claims. I'm saying creatine has been studied to do that. So it's definitely something you want to put into your routine daily. And then we have a whole natural beauty line. I'm not going to go into these in depth, but I do want you to see what's available because there are so many other health benefits than what you just see up front. So with our collagen is incredible. What sets it apart from other collagens on the market is that it is bottled in 0.15 seconds. It's sourced in the Scandinavian waters because it's the purest form that we can find, and it is a marine collagen. We use marine collagen because it's the most similar to our DNA. And so it's very easily absorbed by the body. So with our collagen, you can see some of the results that people get here. The results as far as physical results have been great too. I work personally, work with a lot of physical therapists, chiropractors. They're loving this. Their patients are seeing relief in their joints. Range of movement is improving, just so many things. And I can tell you, I'm married to a guy who played college football and's had a couple knee surgeries and a shoulder surgery, and he swears by the collagen. He actually just left to go on a trip this weekend with some friends, and he took a whole box of collagen with him. And so, he loves how he feels utilizing our collagen. And then we also have our hair revival. This was in a head-to-head clinical with the #1 selling hair supplement in the country, and ours outperformed that by 20%. You can see the results here. What it does is in the first month, it decreases hair loss by 34%. And in the second month, it increased the diameter of the hair shaft, so the thickness of the hair, by 37%. So the hair revival is incredible. It's for men and women. And the results you can see are just stunning. We have so many hairdressers that are utilizing this with their clients. And then we have our Harmonia. Our Harmonia is incredible. I know I keep saying that about everything, you guys, but I really do use everything. I did a presentation a couple weeks ago, and the lady was like, do you really use all this? And I was like, yes. People who aren't using supplements, which I never did before Isagenix, they're getting food at fast food restaurants, they're driving through, the gas station, the drive ups, and they're doing all these things. It's no different. It's just making a decision in your mind. I want to feel well, right? Like, I want to be able to ski with my children. I want to be able to get on the floor with my grandkids. And so what I do today matters for what my life's going to look like in 20 years. And Harmonia is a big part of that. For women that are going through perimenopause or menopause, This helps so many different things. It helps with sleep, it helps with hot flashes, it helps with night sweats. Just transparently, I started taking this when it came out, and my night sweats are gone. And I was having them 2 to 3 nights a week. And this just was a game changer for me. Improved mood, all the things. And so even if you have girls that are younger, it also helps with as they're going through their cycle each month, just with lots of different things with that. And we love it. My daughter's 16. We love this product. And I know like a lot of the women listening in are utilizing this and loving it. The company actually is right now selling 175% more than their projection of Harmonia because the results that people are getting. It does not have a hormone in it. So if you're using like an HRT, it doesn't mess with any of that. It's just giving your body the right nutrients that it needs. And it's really incredible. So all that being said, I'm going to show you our 3 best-selling systems. And whoever invited you to get on tonight and listen, or to listen to this recording, I want you just to get back to them after you see this part, and they'll help you find a solution that's for you. Because here's the thing, we're not just going to be like every single person needs the exact same thing, because we want you to get results for your health. And so I'm going to show you these systems, and then like I said, just ask questions to whoever invited you on. But this is our 30-day reset, our number 1 selling pack. You're going to get the shakes I talked about, the cleanse, the ionics. You're going to get Accelerator and Isoflush. Accelerator is a natural thermogenic, has like cayenne pepper, ginseng, cinnamon bark, helps burn stored fat. And then you're going to get Isoflush, which is digestive support. It draws water to the colon and intestines. It has bentonite in it, so it's really great. It helps to get all the stuff out of the body that shouldn't be there. So this system right here replaces 64 meals for the month. So what I want you to think about is what you pay for an average meal. So, it might be $10, $15, $20, whatever it is. On average, people tell me 10, so I'm going to use that number. So just in your mind, think that's $640 I'm currently spending on those meals. And with this system, it's $330. So it breaks down to less than $10 a day, and that includes 2 of your meals and your adaptogen and all the support you see here. So it's less than what you're currently doing. Okay, so now we're going to look at the premium system. That's everything you saw in the 30-day. Plus, you get our e-shots, which are a natural energy shot. They have 85 milligrams of a naturally sourced caffeine. If you know me, they are my staple. I have probably too many of them a day. And then we get our bars, which have 18 grams of protein. Our protein crackers, which are incredible, you guys. They have 10 grams of protein and only 100 calories. My kids love them. They take them to school. There's cheddar and everything seasoning. I use them. You can use them on a fasting day. They're just really great. So you get all of that in there. Again, 64 meals, but then all the additional things. And so this one breaks down to just 405 a day. So if you were thinking in your mind $10 per meal, remember that's $640. So this is all those meals plus everything else, still less than what you're currently spending. Okay. And then this is our value pack. It's got everything. You heard Rhonda at the beginning say this is what she started with. This is what I started with. I wanted to be able to utilize the nutrition and, like I said, really feel the impact it made on me. So you get everything in the premium pack, plus the vitamins we talked about. You could choose men's or women's, our recharge NAD and our greens. And you can see you get a few other special things. And this one is $629. So one thing I want to clarify is people always ask, so do I order this every month? Nope, the first month you're going to order one of the systems or whatever you choose, and then you're going to have somebody who's going to help coach you, and you're going to get great results. And then each month you can select what you want to come. And so for me personally, I just want you guys to see this, because when I started 19 years ago, I always say we had more month than money. So I want you to see that this isn't new money. This is money you're currently already spending, and we're just going to take it from the drive-through or Walmart or Whole Foods or wherever you shop, and we're going to shop in your Isagenix store. So 64 meals at $10. Your current spend is $640. And our 30-day reset I showed you was $330. So you can see there that you're saving $310 just from shopping at Isagenix versus where you typically do. But I want you to think about this. I want you to think in your mind where you buy your groceries. So whether it's Walmart, Whole Foods, wherever you buy your groceries, right? So here I am. I'm using Isagenix, and I wanted you to think of 2 people that you love. And here's why. If you went into your grocery store tonight when we get off this Zoom and you bought your groceries for the month and you're checking out, and they said to you, hey, Robin, tell me if you could bring 2 people here in the next 30 days, we would give you half to all of your grocery money back. What would you do? So I want you to think about it. If your grocery store said, we're going to give you half to all of your money back if you just bring 2 family or friends to shop here in the next 30 days, what would you do? Most people would go find somebody to shop in the store, right? The beauty of Isagenix is I wanted my mom and my husband to have this nutrition. I wanted my mom to feel well. I wanted my husband, not to have joint discomfort and all the things that he was dealing with. So it was easy for me to share with them. And when I did, the company pays you 20% from anything they order. So I earned $66 from my mom's order and $66 from my husband's order, right? That's 20% of $330. And then the company gives you an additional $50 when you share with your first two people. And so I made back $182. So that was over half of my initial spend of $330, okay, just from telling two people. But the beautiful part of Isagenix is that when you help your people to get their groceries paid for, so when I helped my mom to share with a couple people, she started earning her grocery money back. And the company gave me $100 for helping her to share with two people. And then I went out and I helped my husband to share with a couple people. He got part of his grocery money back, and the company gave me another $100. So now I had made back $382. This was in my first couple days. So it's like my food was completely free within the first week. Okay. And if you do that in your first 2 months with Isagenix, your first 60 days, the company gives you a $250 bonus. And so that's $632. So that can pay for your food for 2 months, pay for your food for 1 month, and you can go get back to school supplies for your kids. It can pay for, you to go on a trip with your wife. It can, allow you to go travel and see your parents, whatever it is. You can use this for whatever you want. But I just think it's incredible that Isagenix pours back in. So just a reminder, my background is in finance. I went to school for finance and a business degree. So when I saw this, I was like, how does this work? And this is what I learned that day. And I really just want you to be open-minded. If you're thinking to yourself, I got on here to hear about collagen, or I got on here to learn about a shake, I don't care about this part. Just stick with me, because here's the thing. There are people tonight, and it might not be you, but then it's your neighbor or your brother or somebody who's praying for an answer to their finances. And that's where I was in a place where it's like I wanted an option, but I didn't have one. And Isagenix gave my family an option. And you guys, in the past 19 years, we've been able to help over 90 families be able to replace incomes. We have thousands that make enough to pay for their products every month. But I really want you to understand this. So as soon as I share with those first two people, I was able to start earning 6% on all the orders below me, regardless of how far they went down into the tree. And so I was just like, that's a wild concept, right? And this is how that works. So you have a left team and a right team. You're using the nutrition, you're sharing with a few people. Because the nutrition works, which we've shown you in the clinicals, those people share and people share and people share with no intention to build a business. But what happens is they start to get their food paid for, they start to earn a little bit, and you get paid for everything that happens down below you. And, for me, there's people listening into this call right now that are like 18 people deep in the tree. That means I told a friend who told somebody, who told somebody, who told somebody 18 levels down is Tiffany. And I earn every single time Tiffany orders and tells anybody. And when you can wrap your mind around that concept, I was just like, okay, this makes so much sense. And you guys, if you think thoughts about this, here's the deal. We refer things every single day. We refer, especially women, restaurants, shoes, purses, this outfit, that outfit, everything we refer, and we don't get paid for it. And Isagenix pays us for our referrals. That's as simple as it is. And so when I was showing my parents this, my dad said, honey, like, you have a degree and you have this really great corporate job. And what are you thinking? And I said, Dad, he's a farmer. And I have all brothers, and I have work ethic from my parents. And I said to him, I am not afraid of hard work, but I want to work smart. And so if I can work hard, but I have a whole team of people, like I can't possibly, I could work 126 hours. I've seen him do it in a week. But if I can instead have a team of people and we can all put in time, but I get paid for all those hours, that's what leverage is, you guys. Leverage is what gives you time freedom. And that's what this has allowed for my family. I've been home 19 years now doing this full time. My husband's been home 16 of those years with me. And we are able to do what we want on our own time frame without having to ask, can we be gone? Can I go see my mom in the hospital? Can, we take these trips with our family? We work on our own time schedule. And here's how simple it is. I just want you to understand this. So you're going to go out, you're going to share with two people you love, right? You're going to teach those two people to tell two people. And they tell two, who tell two. It's really that simple. Everybody just sharing with a couple people they love. So in this example, how many people did you share with? You shared with two. But everybody told a couple people. So, how many people are you getting paid for? Over 8,000 people. And I want you to see these numbers with me. If all those people order just the minimum of Isagenix, and you don't have to understand what volume means, it just is simply how we measure our products, but everybody's ordering those products every month. Here's what happens. This is your income. And I just want you to just go with me here. Just let your mind stretch. $709,000 a year. And I remember seeing this 19 years ago and thinking, yeah, but people will send stuff back and not everybody's going to get two people. And how can that work like that? And my mind is never usually negative, but it was like, that's where I was going. And then the gentleman training, he said, what if you fail 90% of the time and you only have 10% success? He said that'd be $70,900 a year for your family. Would that make a difference? And I remember sitting in the back of that room and thinking like, I'm going to do this. If the products really work like they do, I'm going to share with a few people. I'm going to see what happens. And I just kept sharing, and the products changed my life. They changed my parents' lives, my husband's life, and we just kept telling people. And now, in 19 years, we've been able to help so many people with their health and their finances and their time freedom. Because here's the thing, you guys, this is where we are, right? We're actually 2025 now. So we're on our way to 2033. Every one of these categories, wellness, beauty, biohacking with our NAD and our cellular detoxification, our vitamins, all of them are expected to look at these numbers, triple, 10 times the numbers. It's crazy to not take advantage of the opportunity, because here's the deal. Everybody at some point will go look for nutrition. They will look for a way to better their health. And you want to be the person that they think of when they make that decision. And so with Isagenix, we have this kind of slogan on our team. It's a pinata mentality. It's like when you're a kid, you hit the pinata and whoever hits it, everybody runs underneath it. So it's not just the kids striking the pinata, but everybody participates, everybody celebrates, everybody supports one another. And that's what we do here with our team and with Isagenix. And so, I just want to really encourage you to, whoever invited you tonight, or if you're listening to this audio, to get back to that person, because they're here to help support you. Whether it's your physical health, your financial health, or your time freedom, we want you to be able to live your best life. And that's what Isagenix allows. And so I just want to thank you again for being on.